Hello students, good morning. I am Rupali and today we are going to learn from your maths textbook, that is chapter number 14, lines and angles. This is a geometry lesson. So lines and angles. So it is a very interesting and very useful concept we will use on our day-to-day life. When we heard the word line, it will come to our mind that the line of the, when we draw the line of the wall or line on the table. So many things will come in our mind when we heard the word lines. So before going lines, we'll see what is points. Point, it is when we take a sharp pencil and when we keep on the plain sheet of paper, this dot is called as a point. So what is point? The which having the exact location. Suppose if I put here, is this point? But here I put, is this point? You can't see that. I draw point, but you can't see. So point means which have the exact location or position. That is called as a point. So anywhere if you put a dot, we can't see that. So that is not a point. So points means which have the exact location or position. That is called as a point, or it is called as a dot also. So this point is denoted or shown with the capital letters. Any alphabets, from the any alphabets you can take any letter to show the points. You can use A, X, Z, any capital letters from the English alphabet you can take and you can show the points. So hope you understand what is point. It is the exact location on the plain sheet of paper is called as a point. When this point, when we keep the point one after another, we will form the line. So here, what is line? Using the points one after another, when you put the points, we will get the line. So what is line? Line means which we don't have the end points. They extend indefinitely. There is no end point. That is called as a line. So this is the line and which have two arrowheads here. That means in both directions you can extend infinitely. So the two arrowhead shows that you can expand, means you can extend this line infinitely. There is no end point. That is called as a line. To show the line also, we use the small letters, English alphabet, small letters to denote the line. Or you can use AB as a line also. Also you can use AB to show the line. So like this you can use the English capital alphabets also to show the line. So what is the line segment? Now you understood line. So what is the line segment now? Because every time we can't, there is no end point. So we can't take the line here. Everywhere we can't tell that this is a line because there is no end point. So because of that we have line segment. So what is line segment there? Line segment means it is a part of a line. It is a portion, small portion from a line, that is called as a line segment. So this is the line. So what is line? It is a small portion of the line. So here this is the small portion. This small portion is called as a line segment. This is called as a line segment. Which have end points also. Here A is the end point and B is the end point. So to show the length of this line, we can use the any English alphabets. It is a small, any English alphabet, small letters we can use to show the length of the line. Here we know how much the length is because it's having start point and end point. But here we don't know the length, but it is infinitely will go. But line segment is a portion of the line, that is called as a line segment. So I understood what is a line and what is a line segment. So now we'll move to the next, that is a, because in line there is no width height or anything. Just it is a length is given in the line segment. So it doesn't have any other properties. But here only they have the length here. So then what is rays? So when we tell ray, it is a sun rays. Yes, the rays coming from the sun, that is a sun ray. So what is the starting point here? It is a sun is the starting point. Sun is the start point and the rays are coming from the sun. The number of rays are coming from the sun. So what we can say here? Start point is there, but there is no end point. We don't know where they are reaching. They are so infinitely extending these rays. So what is this rays? The rays means the which have one end point and the another point will extend infinitely. That is called as a ray. So this is the ray. It has a start point here and here it is. We don't know the end point. So this is the ray. So how to show this ray? A, B. Ray A, B. So start point is A and till extending till the B point. We don't know, it is infinitely extending it. That is a B. We can't write that B, A has a ray because B is not the start point. A is the start point. So this is wrong to show the ray. Always which is the start point, that point only you have to write first, and where it is extending, that point is the second letter here. So a number of rays we can draw using the common point also. Any number of rays. So there are unlimited rays we can draw using the common point. This common point is called as a concurrent. This common point is called as a concurrent points or concurrent rays. So here we can draw any numbers of rays here. So we can draw any numbers of ray using a common point. That is the one property of the rays. So now even we call as the concurrent lines also, because using that common point any numbers of line also we can draw. That is also called as a concurrent lines also. So now we understood what is point. Now after that we understood what is a line, then line segment and rays. Now we'll move to the types of line. So types of line: parallel line. First one is parallel line. And second one is intersect line. So what is the parallel line? The line which never meet with each other. That is called as a parallel lines. The lines we never meet with each other. So this also example of parallel line. If you see this line and this line, they, if we extend that line, they never meet with each other. Or this line and this line, if we extend that both line infinitely, they never meet with each other. That is called as a parallel lines. The good example of the parallel lines is railway track. When the junction is there, there only they will meet each other. Otherwise, they are always parallel with each other. Also the example of ladder. If you see the ladder here, these two lines are always parallel. So they never meet with each other. That is called as a parallel lines. So what is intersect line? When the two lines cross each other, that is called as an intersect line. So suppose this is the AB intersects with CD, means it will cross with CD. And where they meet, that point is called as, suppose they are meeting here, this point is called as a point of intersection. What is this called as? It is called as a point of intersect. So the two lines, when they cross each other, they meet at a common point. That common point is called as a point of intersect. So till now you understood what is the parallel lines. and what is the intersects line. In congruent line means in more than 3 or 4 lines we can draw with a common point. So third one is concurrent line, means 3 or 4 or 3 or more arrows rays we can draw using the common point, that is called as a concurrent line. So you can draw number of lines using that common point, that is called as a concurrent lines. So now till now we understood the basic points, line segment, rays and types of lines. Now we'll move to the angles. So before starting types of angle, we will see how the angle rotation will happen and what is the angles. So first we define what is the angles. The figure which have two arms and they meet at a common point, that type of figure is called as a angles. So what is angle? Angle means the figure which have two rays or two arms, they meet at a common point. They are meeting here, this is the common point, or we call it is a vertex. This type of figure is called as an angle. So here whatever the angle is forming, that is called as the measure of the angles. So how to show? So this is the symbol to show the angles. This symbol is used to show the angles. Suppose here there are two arms, OA and OB. These are the two rays, or we call it as a two arms, and O is one vertex. When these two arms, this one arm and this another arm, when they meet at a common point, that point is called as a vertex, and whatever the angle form, that is called as the measure of the angle. That is called as a, whatever here this angle is forming, this is called as the measure of the angle. And the symbol, this is a like a L shape. This symbol is used to show the angles. So now you understood what is angle. Now we'll move to the rotation of the angles. So how these angles will rotate, how the different types of angles are forming. So we'll see. So first we'll take one clock, and this is the starting point. So now there is no angles, there is no rotation happen. It is just circle with the radius. So here this is the 0. We call it as a 0 angle. Nothing is there. That is the starting point. When this point, this line will rotate 1/4 rotation. When we will go to the 1/4 rotation, this is the 1/4 rotation. So 1/4 rotation, that time the angle is formed is called as a 90 degrees here. So this angle formed is called as a 90-degree angle or right angle. This angle is called as a 90-degree angle or right angle. To show the angle, we use the degree. To measure the angle, this is the symbol to show the degree of the angle. It means small circle, not this much big, little small circle. So here 90 degree, this small circle means it is a degree. 90 degree or right angle. When this angle again rotate with the one complete rotation, now here to here it will rotation is happen. Now again here to here it will happen. That is means half rotation. When this angle rotate half, then that time it is a 180 degree. The half rotation means the angle form is called as a 180 degree angle, or we call it as a, this is the right angle and this is a straight angle. When it is formed the 180 degree angle, it is called as a straight angle. When again this angle rotate, that is a 3/4 rotation happen here, from here to here. Again it rotates. This rotation is a 3/4 rotation. Then that time the angle form is 270 degree. When the 3/4 rotation time. Again these angles rotate from here to whole full rotation. Then this angle one complete rotation. So one complete rotation means it is a 360 degree angle, or it is called as a complete angle. We will make one complete rotation. That time the angle form is called as a complete angle. So here only we got different types of angle. Zero angle, that is the starting position of the rotation. When it will rotate 1/4, that time we will get the 90 degree angle, that is called as a right angle. When you will make a half rotation, when the angle makes the half rotation, that time we are getting 180 degree angle, that is called as a straight angle. When it make a 3/4 rotation, that time whatever the angle, whatever the rotation is formed, that is a 270 degree. And last one is when the rotation makes one complete rotation. When the angle makes one complete rotation, that time the angle form is 360 degree, or we call it is a one complete rotation. So now we got different types of angle. Also we have more angles, that is a one more is acute angle. So what is acute angle? The angle whose measure is greater than 0 and less than 90. That type of angle is called as a acute angle. The angle whose measure is greater than 0. So now here it is 0. It is greater than 0 but less than 90. That type of angle is called as a acute angle. So this is the acute angle. See here, this is the 90 degrees. Less than 90 but greater than 0. This type of angle is called as a acute angle. So remember the word acute. Acute means less than 90 degrees. Now second one is obtuse angle. The angle whose measure is more than 90 but less than 180. That type of angle is called as a obtuse angle. So we see here. So this is the 90 degrees. So obtuse means somewhere here, because this angle is called as a obtuse angle, because the measure is more than 90. This is 90. More than 90 and this is still here 180 but less than 180. That type of angle is called as a obtuse angle. So whose measure is 90 degree, that is called as a right angle. Whose measure is 180 degree, that angle is called as a straight angle. And whose measure is 360 degree, that angle is called as a complete angle. So here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types of angle. Also we have reflex angle, whose measure is more than 180 degree but less than 360 degree. That type of angle is called as a reflex angle. So again we have many different types of angle we are getting. So we have the complementary also. What is meant by complementary? The two angles whose sum is 90 degrees, that type of angles is called as a complementary. Suppose one is 70 and another is 20. The 70 is complementary with the 20 degree. So 70 is complementary of 20. So like that we can take this. Means whose sum, that angle, two angles whose sum is 90 degree, that type of angle is called as a complementary angle. Again we have supplementary angles. So what is meant by supplementary angles? The angles, the two angles whose sum is 180 degrees. That type of angle is called as a supplementary angles. Suppose one is 130 degree and another is 50 degree. So 130 is supplementary of 50 degrees, or 50 degree is supplementary of 130 degrees, means the sum of the two angle is 180 degrees. So in today's class we learned different types of angle also. So these angles are very important because when we construct that time you should know what type of angle we are going to draw, or we are constructing that time we'll understand different types of angle. So now in today's class we learned, so just within 2 minutes just recap what today we are learned. In today's class we learned point, exact position, which have the exact position is called as a point. Then line, which who doesn't have the end point, they extend infinitely, that is called as line. Small portion of the line is called as a line segment. And then we saw the ray which have the one point and start point and there is no end point, extend infinitely, that is called as ray. So even we learn in today's class types of lines. So parallel lines, they never meet each other. Then intersect line, which intersects or which cross with each other at this common point, that is called as a point of intersection. Then we learn the concurrency line, means number of lines we can draw with the common point, that is called as a concurrent lines. Then we came to the angles. What is angles? When two rays meet at a common point, that common point is called as a vertex and that type of figure is called as a angles. So angles is measured in degrees. The symbol is little L shape we will use to show the angles. Also we saw the rotation of the angles. When we saw the rotation, that time only we saw different types of angles, that is a 0 angle, then 90 degree, that is a right angle, then 180 degree, that is a straight angle, then 360 degree, that is a complete angle. Also we learned the acute and obtuse angle only, whose measure is less than 90, that is acute, more than 90, obtuse angle. Then also we learn the complementary and supplementary also. Complementary means the two angles whose sum is 90 degrees and the angle whose sum is 180 degrees, means they are supplementary with each other. So supplementary angles and complementary angles, and these types of angle we learn in the today's class. So hope you understood what we learned in the today's class. So now revise once again, see this video and just revise the concept, and any difficulties message me or come back to me, so I'll give the more explanation. So if you need more explanation, again I will repeat the same chapter. Hope you understand. Thank you and bye bye. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.